I guess we have Shen versus Camille. We have Whiteknight over here playing versus Mr. Legendary Vet Hero. Whiteknight is currently the highest ranked top laner in Europe, from what I know. Anyways, let's get back to it. So let's focus on this. So the first thing you need to know is that the cooldowns are roughly the same. Shen have 18 seconds cooldown on W and E, and Camille have 15 and 16 second cooldown on W and E, right? So they're relatively similar. You want to make sure you don't get hit in that small window that you have an advantage, but overall relatively similar. Now, one thing is really important to know in this matchup is, generally what you want to do is once Camille starts leveling up her W and starts hitting that, once it's level 1, she's going to spam it on you. You want to use your passive shield, which you have on an 8-second cooldown, no, a 10-second cooldown, I believe it is. You want to use that to avoid the damage from Camille's W. She will eventually go out of mana if she constantly does it. And then you can take small trades over and over. This was a really bad trade from Whiteknight. Overall, he's lost a lot of health. He is allowing Camille to push, which could be bad or good. One thing to note here is the enemy jungler is starting topside. He knows this. So, enemy could be ganking early Shen. Shen is avoiding this gank by being pushed in. Now, however, Karthus is starting bot side, so Karthus could come up and gank at one point. Oh, never mind. Actually, Karthus started topside. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Karthus can't gank either. Nothing is going to happen up here. I actually think Shen should have pushed slowly. If he had slow pushed, you have a small advantage in the trades versus Camille, and he would be getting a small lead. Now, the only risky part of that is that Shizwani can actually gank in that case. He's avoiding the gank by letting Camille push into him, but he's also losing his lane a little bit harder. That's a really nice dodge. He didn't take any damage, gets the sword through, does a ton of damage back. Amazing trade of all. Camille is just super greedy for no reason. Shen is just looking to constantly trade a little small trades here and there. He doesn't want to go for long trades because Camille will always win those. Now, what he needs to do is sit back at this point. He can't do anything because it's a big wave. And then he's going to have to let it push. Camille might be basing here, so he's freezing a little bit, or like pushing it out a little bit. And the reason he wanted to tank the minions for a second here is because now these minions are going to kill these minions, right? So Camille's going to lose minions if she doesn't TP top. She will have to TP top because her push is really slow. It's not actually fast enough. She is going to lose a lot here. Unless she TPs back. Let's see what happens. I think she have to TP back right now because Shen pulled the minions for half a second. Camille's push wasn't fast enough. She decides to walk, and now she's going to lose 6 minions. That's a big loss. People talk about like, oh, just push in and get the free base, a little free. Well, I'm going to tell you, this base isn't free. This is the worst base you could ever have gotten. You literally just lost 6 minions. And that's huge. That's half a level, I believe, at this point. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but around there. And now Shen's still in a good spot. Jungles are nowhere near top. They can't be because of the way they jungled. So he knows nobody's going to be top. He's just chilling at this point. And then he's going to do short trades on Camille at all times here. He doesn't want to go for long trades because, again, Camille can win those. He needs to use his passive to dodge a W. And overall, just chilling. There we go. He tried to dodge it, but he didn't have the passive. But he went for a small hit and didn't get hit by the healing aspect of it. Again, he's just going to slow push here. He doesn't need to fast push. And also, Shen's one of the worst at fast pushing. Gets out of that trade. That's really good from him. The taunt is really, really well done. Most people won't go for that taunt. They'll just take it, but impressive. Now again, he won't go for small trade. He got the sword through Camille, so he can actually do a double hit there. He does a triple hit even, almost. He tried to. Camille gets out. He's just going to keep on walking backwards here. He doesn't need to trade. Doesn't have the shield. This is a kind of bad trade for him. And this is all about playing around your cooldowns. It's really important you manage to do that. At this point, Camille's going to have the slightly upper hand in pushing, but Shen is going to level up first. When he levels up, he can start trading a little bit more. He misused his sword there, so now he needs to step back a bit because he doesn't have his passive. Step back till he at least got his passive back up. Now he can start walking up a little bit if he wants to. I think he should actually, so he can make sure the wave is frozen. Now, making it push in here is not very good. He's losing minions because he didn't step up. A small adjustment down the micro level. Easy to say that you're not playing yourself, but it will help him a tiny bit. Now again, he's just going to keep sitting here. He's actually in a decent position. Camille doesn't have a shield right now, so he could trade with a grass proc. Just one hit and back. It's something you should probably be looking to do because Camille doesn't have the passive shield, and that's a 16-second cooldown, so it's really long. He's not looking for that trade, though. Outer gun up for the one auto attack, but I mean, again, it's not a massive deal, right? I think it's a small benefit, but it doesn't really matter that much. He's just trying to play it really safe here. He does have teleport. He can get back. Camille also have TP. He's going to get 6 very soon. Look to help his team out. He should have used his Q there. So avoid the damage, uses it later for no reason. So all this was a misplay. Wasted his Q, took extra damage for no reason. Not so good. He got his passive back up. Camille's gonna have W again now. He should be looking to always do that consistently trade. Again, now he needed to waste it to get the cannon. It's worth it because he gets the cannon, but he should have prepared the minion so he didn't have to do that. It's a small micro misplay, and all these things slowly add up into something where, oh, now you lost a lane because of it, or now the other opponent lost because she didn't do all the small things correct. That's a really nice one. You W the Q, the empowered Q, then you're just chilling, try to get out of the auto attack, couldn't. It's fine. All he needs to do, he keeps wasting his Qs. I don't like this. I've talked a lot with Drutud, who is a Camille OTP, and he agrees with me. You don't want to waste your shields. Shields are really important because you can actually make Camille use a lot of mana on her W, but he's shielding at the right times. He's going to have to TP back top because, I mean, right now he will have to because the wave is terrible for him. He's also expecting an enemy guy to be topside, so he needs to play passive. That's also the reason why he's playing so passive as he is. What he should do right now is go up and push as hard as possible. Now, the reason for this is I'm saying he should play safe. And the safest thing for him to do is actually to play aggressive and push as hard as possible. Because by playing aggressive, now Camille needs to tell what she's doing. If she goes aggressive, it's like, oh, why is she aggressive with me? You have more minions. Maybe the jungle is top. And also by being aggressive, you push faster, which avoids you being stuck up here. Because if you sit back, Camille goes up, she can just hold the wave till it goes up here, and then they can gank you even easier. So the most passive play here is actually to be aggressive and go in. Not going in on Camille. I mean, push the minions and then get out, right? I mean, I don't want him to actually go on the Camille, and I think that's really bad. That's a really greedy play. He's obviously stronger, but he doesn't have any pressure. He was playing somewhat passive earlier, so I expected him to be playing more careful. And that was a really bad play. Like, overall, that's just a really poor play. There's not much else to say about it. A very, very big mistake. And he died. Going back at top. Let's see what he buys. He goes for the standard build. He goes Ruby, Ruby Crystal, and then he goes for longswords. Now on Shen, you generally want to stack health early. It's the most beneficial items you can get. And most Shens do that. It's very rare that you see a Shen rush a Tiamat or something like that, because it just doesn't give us much benefit to him. Oh, he messed up there, but it's fine. He's TPing bottom. He's looking around the map as a Shen should be doing and trying to make plays. Now let's see if he does it. He does the Taunt Flash, gets one. Gets the AD carry first, which is the most important one. Tries to help his team out by going for the Camille. I think this is valuable. Going for the Camille is... He's trying to avoid the Camille getting more kills. Now he couldn't do that. Grabs the kill. Maybe they can get this chick. I think he got torn up soon. Yep, he does. 1 second. Taunt through. Gets it. Beautiful. Overall, I think this fight was played close to perfect. I mean, sure, you can always have micro adjustments and so on. Things can always be done slightly better. But this was very clean. I liked everything he did. He never chased. He always tried to stay around the team, help them out where he needed to. He got the enemy AD carry first. All a really good fight. Now, obviously, he needs to push it out, and then he needs to basically go top, unless his AD carry goes top. In that case, he's fine just staying bot lane. Staying bot lane is no problem for him. He's completely okay with that. Let's see what he does. How much gold does he even have? 900 gold. He could be basing right now for items. See what he does. But he's probably going to go back bot, right? Got his Tiamat going. Then he goes back bot lane. This is fine. I don't think he needed to base, but he can. They're fighting here. I mean, he's trying to save his carters. He's going for the Lucian because Lucian's the one with all the damage. That's the scary one. And also it's the one that's easier to kill. So going for the Lucian is the right choice, and that actually makes him win that fight. Overall, very, very good understanding of who he should be going for. And I think this is something that's really important between really good players and good players. They often go for the right targets when they have to. He's basing for health as well as bottom, so he's going to go back top, right? Standard lane swaps. Doesn't really have any cool items, but maybe he's waiting for armor. Let's see what he does. No, boots. Boots, fair enough. Boots also pretty good, right? Going back top. So if you look at the top lane for a second here, let's look at the gold cost. If you look at the gold, he is 800 gold behind. That's huge. That's really, really big. And Camille almost have a 20 force. Right now, I think he can still compete with her. But once he gets 20 force, she's going to be a lot stronger. See what he does. He's going for trades with the grass procs. Very important. I think it's something you always want to do when you have grasp. Try and utilize those grasp procs because it gives you healing. It gives you more permanent health. 5 per stack you hit. So it's quite a big deal, right? If you get 50 stacks, that's a lot of health suddenly. Let's see what he does. I mean, he should be slow pushing. Actually, maybe he should fast push here. Yeah, he should fast push just to be safer. See what he does. He's going to go in and just shit on these minions as hard as possible. Yep. I would recommend fast pushing because it makes him safer. Again, he always wants to focus on the Camille first. Because by focusing on the Camille, he makes his lane easier to play. And that she's doing brilliantly. He gets a lot of damage on her. He's not focusing on the minions. And that's something a lot of people do wrong. They try to focus on minions like, I need to hit this amount of minions per minute or I'm doing bad. By doing that, you know what? You're doing worse by yourself. you need to focus the enemy champion first. She's low on health now. He's high on health. This is one thing that's important. When you want to look for kills, hiding in this bush or that bush is some of the best ways to get kills. Now, hiding in the first bush here is better, but there's a high chance to check it with either a W, a ward, or something. And they might have a ward in there. Second bush, harder to catch the opponent, but there's way less chance that it gets checked. He doesn't actually look for the kill. I mean, maybe he just wanted Camille to walk up earlier, or maybe they want to go for the tower or something like that, or they want to get into the next push to the carters. He opts in for the push. He goes in on Camille. She actually goes a bit over greedy. Now she's very low on health. Could get card ulti maybe. I don't know. How much health does she have? 300? Maybe not actually. I think she needs to be like 250 for that one to hit. It depends on Kartus's AP and so on. Might work, might not. They're going for the tower. I think overall this is not so good. Sejuani comes up as well. He needs to taunt. No, he can't taunt anyways. He just dies in the CC. Kartus is really powerful. Kartus might actually win this fight because Kartus is dominating right here. He's really, really strong. It's a 4-1-2 Kartus. He's missing every single Q, but it doesn't matter because Kartus hits the last one in, and that's a nice kill. Overall, this is a really greedy play. Not the biggest fan of it, but it worked, so who can complain, right? Serena comes up, gets a buff, I assume. Not really much there. I mean, it's a 2 for 2, but they were 2 for 3. So overall, it was good played by them. They got out. They won out. Problem, however, is that this base is horrible for Shen. He doesn't have his Titanic Hydra, and Camille got 24s. This is when it's going to start being difficult. TP's bot lane, does what he needs to do as a Shen player. You want to TP around as much as possible. Your goal when you play Shen is to win the game pre-minute 25. The goal of the opponent is to survive. So, Camille is going to be stronger than Shen if Shen doesn't get leads, so Shen actually needs to teleport around and he needs to make plays elsewhere. That's the number one thing. Shen getting ahead himself is not that big of a deal. Obviously getting ahead is good, but yeah. Missed his taunt and everything. This was just really bad. He tried to go for a play. I think the play was greedy, but sometimes greedy plays are worth it, right? So it was a greedy play, but it could have worked. Lucian is just fighting, going crazy. His bot lane is actually suffering a lot. I think Mr. Whiteknight have a worse bot lane. Let's see what he does. He should base here. Maybe he stays and holds the turret, but after this he needs to get a base in. He needs to get back to top. Wait. What the fuck is this? Did he ult me? No, he TP'd. Oh, he based and TP'd. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That's actually really, really smart. Bases, TP's full health behind them. Gets right behind. This should be easy kills. Don't taunt early, don't taunt early, don't taunt early. He's not taunting early. Yep, he waited. This was good. It sucks he didn't get the Lucian, but taunting early means there's a high chance the Lucian's going to E away. It's very risky. If you don't taunt early, there's a much higher chance you get the kill. Lucian did a really brilliant flash over the wall and everything. Fight went pretty bad because of it. So that sucked. He needed to get that Lucian, and sadly he didn't get it early enough, so the enemy team gets back in, turn the fight somewhat. Yona smurfing, so they're actually not winning. Thanks. Yona MVP, huh? Overall, I think Whiteknight played that fight good. I think if you look at this game so far, Whiteknight's laning phase has been somewhat iffy, but his team fights have been perfect. Like literally almost all his team fights have been perfect. Sure, no, he didn't get the Lucian here, he didn't have vision. He tried to go for the taunt that way. Could have been that way, could have been that way. I mean, 50-50. It's fine. His team fights have been very clean. See what he goes. Goes back top as he should. Still doesn't have Titanic. He's still very weak. Very, very weak compared to Camille in my eyes right now. He needs that Titanic Hydra. Just getting the ward out. Vision's good. One thing I want to explain. This vision ward is generally good if you're at this area. But once you're past this area, this vision ward doesn't give you enough. Once you're here, they can still get you in time. So you gotta be careful about this one. It doesn't give you enough vision, depending on where you're on the lane. But he's going for Herald with his team objective. Also much safer to go Herald than it is to stay top. And he'll get the minions anyways. Ultimate's away. Well, I mean, Sejuani just shows. That's pretty unlucky. But bot lane is the number one important lane. Gets Lucian. Does his job. And this is way more important than a Herald. Getting kills bot lane is more important than Herald. So if you can teleport bot lane to get kills while doing a Herald or something else, go for the kills, buddy. Kills are really important. Drakes are really important. I mean, Herald's pretty good as well. Now he gave away a Herald, maybe a top tower. I'd say worth it. Drake and 2 kills bot lane, definitely worth it. Alright, the first tower is down. This is where we're gonna end it. I hope you guys like this review. I want to do a lot more of these where we're just focusing on the laning phase and seeing what happens in the laning phase. Once the tower goes down, we're generally gonna end them. I think overall we can take from this one is Whiteknight extremely extremely good team fight, extremely good team play, really good ultimates. I think his laning phase will a bit lackluster. I think he doesn't understand this matchup as well as maybe a Shen OTP would. He could have played slightly better with his shields and so on, but he reacted really nicely with his taunts to avoid damage from the Camille all-ins with her E and so on. So overall, brilliant play. I think he just needs a little bit more knowledge in the laning phase, small micro trades, and if he had that, he'd have played even better. But yeah, that's it for this one.